Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything that you need to be comfortable. Maybe it's a glass of water, or a hot cup of tea or coffee. It might even be a cozy sweater or a blankie. Also, if you have items at home and you'd like to smudge, it's a good time to grab those items. But if you don't have smudge at home relatives, that's okay. We'll send some cleansing, healing, and positive energy your way. It's a new day. It's another sunrise and another sunset. It's a different phase of the moon. And this is our opportunity to reflect on how we're feeling and what we need and want to move forward on our wellness path and journey for today. Aloha, kakayaka, hello, and good morning. My name is Malia, and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care and wellness into our daily lives. And we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So thank you so much for being here with us today, relatives. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our HIR Wellness Institute teams here, members who are here with us to support you in this circle of care. We have one of our counseling interns, Odessa. Good morning, Odessa. How you doing? Odessa's here, like myself, in the circle of care to support you, relatives. We're here for you to hold space, to provide you with emotional support, meaning we're here with a listening ear, judgment-free always, stigma-free always. And we're so happy that you're here with us this morning, relatives. I want you to know that you're always welcome to share what you're going through. You can always share what's on your mind. We can talk about it. Come as you are, I say. Warts and all. Whatever it is you're going through, we can be conscious of it. And once you reflect on your day, you can decide what it is that you need. What is it that you need to move forward? Or even more important, how can you move forward today? Maybe you're at one of those points where moving forward is simply just getting through the day. Maybe moving forward means that you were able to take a few moments in your day just to be able to rest or reflect, or allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling and allow yourself to process it. We're here to support you in community activated medicine. And with that, let's do a check-in. How are you doing today, relatives? How is everybody? I see we also have our occupational therapist here with us, Claudia Meyer-Smith. Claudia helps us with that mind-body connection. As an occupational therapist, Claudia helps us understand how to live our best life in this sensory world. How do we navigate? Claudia, I have a question for you, if you're able to answer. What about those days that if we're having a really rough day and we're just overthinking, we're thinking too much and we can't let go. We can't let go of, what's worrying us. What if we feel overly consumed with that worry? And Odessa, I'd like to ask you the same question too. What if we're just having trouble letting go of what it is that's on our mind? Maybe there's something that happened recently and we just can't stop thinking about it. Maybe we're really stressed out at work. Maybe there's a situation with our relationships that we're struggling with. How are we able to just take a moment to step away from that and be present? We went right into it this morning. Also, two relatives. This is a great time to check in. Anytime you're on these videos, whether you come in at the beginning, the middle, or the end, we always want you to know that you are welcome here at any time. You come in on your time and when you need to. So let's check in. How are you, everyone? Good morning, Makanit. Good morning, Odessa. Good morning, Dwight. Okay, and to all of our relatives out there, if I didn't say your name, no, you're always welcome to comment as well. How are you doing? And while you're thinking about it, while you're taking a moment to reflect on how you are today and what you need, I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some tea. So I have two examples of tea going on today. One is cold tea. So we've been doing this orange oolong, steaming it for like 2 minutes. And I had some leftover tea from what I brewed yesterday. Now, this tea, the original tea leaves I brewed on Tuesday. I strained out the water and I kept the tea leaves and I did a second brew on Wednesday, which was yesterday. I had leftover water from these leaves that I used a second time and I put it in the fridge. So now it's cold. I have a tea strainer here. I'm just going to strain it real quick so that you can see what this tea looks like cold, just sitting in the fridge overnight. And I'm putting it in a glass cup. You can see how the tea leaves really opened up. And look at the color. So this is caffeinated. It's a black tea. It has a lot of healthy constituents in it. There's antioxidants. There's citrus. But also, I brewed some tea. So I have hot tea. Now, I wanted to kind of show you too. You can see in here, I've steamed filtered water. I only put in, this is probably 3 cups of water, and I only put in about a teaspoon of tea. This is second brew tea as well, which means I brewed the tea leaves once before I kept them. And look at, just from a teaspoon of tea that's already been used, we'll pour it. And look at the color on that. Same exact tea leaves. This is a hot one, using 1 teaspoon of second brewed tea leaves. This is a cold one I let sit in the fridge overnight. Both are oolong, which is a black tea. Both come from the same tea bag. And you can just see the difference. So relatives, let us know what you're drinking in your... I don't know what this mug is, by the way. It's from my partner's work, so I'm not sure what that is, but I'll just turn that. Um, you can kind of see the difference in them. And I'm gonna start with the hot tea first. Again, here's the tea brand. We don't get kickbacks, we're not sponsored, but I love this tea company. Okay, so I'm going to start with the hot tea first and let you know how it is. And relatives, let us know too. What elixir are you drinking this morning? What's in your teacup? So first, a toast to all of our Wonder Women and Supermen out there. A toast to all of our relatives. May it be a day where you are able, where you take time to take moments in your day of self-care and wellness, radical self-compassion and self-love. Forgive yourself for your imperfections and embrace what is beautiful and unique about who you are. And may that show through moments today of your self-care actions. Cheers, everyone, to our relatives, to all of you. 1 teaspoon of tea that's already been brewed and 3 to 4 cups of water, and it still has flavor. Sometimes I like my tea light like this. Okay, so same tea, brewed overnight in the fridge, second run tea leaves. Look at the beautiful color. The aroma is still there of orange. It's very subtle, but it's still there. It tastes so good. I can taste the orange in it and the complexity of the oolong. Oh my gosh, they're both really good. Let's go back to our comments. Odessa says, good morning. I am good this morning, slept well and feeling rested. Grateful to be in this space with you. Wonderful news, Odessa. Thank you. Claudia says, good morning, Malia and Odessa and everyone. Thank you, Claudia. Makanit said she's feeling much better. That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear, Makanit. Odessa says, there are times when our thoughts are really loud, intense, and feel like they're looping over and over again. In those times, sometimes it is helpful to just stop, take a step back, and take a deep breath. When we are feeling overwhelmed and our mind is elsewhere, doing something to ground the self is helpful. This can be something with our physical body and for our mental mind. This can look like drinking some cold water, splashing cold water on our face, or even focusing on our senses and trying to identify things you can see, feel, touch, smell, or taste. Doing something mindfully with our minds can be helpful too. This can look as simple as listening to music and following an instrument or writing down the lyrics. Overall, the goal is to be mindful and ground ourselves. This will be challenging, and there will be times where the thoughts return, but that is okay. Just bringing ourselves back to the present moment. Thank you so much, Odessa, for giving us some insight and ways to ground ourselves and to become present. We all walk with trauma. We all walk with pain. We all walk with past hurts. We all walk with the complexities not only of our spirit and of our needs and our wants, but we also walk with things in our lives that we don't want. And Sometimes we're in that rabbit hole of thinking and you just feel like your mind is just spinning in circles. You feel like you can't let go of that worry or that anxiety or that thought or the fear or the pain. There's some things that we can do. And interestingly enough, these things can seem very simple, which is a good thing because when our mind is in that response, it's almost like a survival response. Maybe you're feeling heartbroken, but the way your body is perceiving it, your brain is perceiving it as a threat. And so we have three options when we're feeling that threat. We're either going to fight, we're going to flight, meaning we're going to run away from it, whether that's mentally run away from it, and like maybe we might like flight could literally mean you get up and leave. It could mean like you physically run away. It could mean you just go somewhere and not deal with it. But it could also mean um, you decide to use substances, get drunk, things like that, because we don't want to cope and it's painful to cope. So we flight or we freeze. So we're either going to fight, we're going to flight, or we're going to freeze. And the freezing is just like you just kind of tolerate it and just sit in it. When we're having one of those responses to that rabbit hole sort of thinking, or we're just like ruminating and we just can't let it go, grounding tools can be very, very helpful. One of my favorite grounding tools to put in my medicine kit, and medicine kit is just that proverbial kit that we have whenever we need to access healing, grounding, soothing exercises, relaxation, anything that serves your higher good. And what I mean by that is what serves you is what brings you joy or makes you feel better or makes you feel like you're doing something healing or living your best life. This is one of my favorite grounding tools. It's just a stone. When I'm really stressed out from having a tough day, I'll carry this in my pocket. It feels smooth, feels comforting. A grounding tool can be as simple as a stone or a rock. Here's another one of my favorite ones. And relatives, if you have grounding tools or grounding exercises, what do you do when you're feeling so stressed out or anxious? What do you do? What do you go to? Feel free to share with our relatives because you can inspire others. You are part of community activated medicine. What do you do when you need grounding? When you need to be centered? This is another grounding tool I have. It looks sparkly and gold. It's lapis. I love, love, love this stone. I love that it's a heart shape, and I'll carry this with me sometimes too. It definitely feels different than this one. This one almost like, I don't know, it feels like, it has a higher vibration. I don't know. That's just my thing. I feel them. Another example of a grounding tool. My son, whenever he was stressed out or feeling anxiety, he would always have to have a stuffy. Sometimes for children, they need their teddy, they need their puppy, they need whatever their little stuffy is. That can be grounding for them. There are other things we can do for grounding too. Deep breathing, tapping, going for a walk, stretching, taking your socks off and standing outside in the grass. For some of us, grounding can be cultural. Maybe it's smudging. Maybe it's laying tobacco. Or it can be as simple as walking outside and looking around and identifying what you see. Odessa, one of our CARES counselors, reminds us that if you need to be grounded and you feel like your mind is just everywhere and you need to center, go outside, take some deep breaths, and what do you see around you? Identify the colors of the cars. Take a look at the sky. Look at the grass. Take a moment to smell. Take a deep breath. Sometimes even I just put my hands down on the table in front of me, just so I can connect to the present. When we come to the present, that allows us to slow down an overthinking brain. It allows us to realize that right here, right now, in this moment, that we are okay. And if you're not okay and you're not safe at the moment, then our brain gives us that response. Are we going to fight? Are we going to fight or are we going to freeze? We'll go to the comments. Let us know how you're doing, relatives. Always feel free to comment. Hi, Marie Michelle. How you doing, Michelle? Michelle says good morning. Hello, Sarah Marie. Hello, Sarah Marie says to hello, everyone. Marie Michelle says, I'm not only drinking tea, but I make holistic medicine for my animals. So Marie Michelle sent us some really, really cool pictures on the other day on the topic of wellness concoctions at home. She shared a picture of toothpaste that was made at home from turmeric and other things. It looked beautiful. And then also what I think Michelle Marie, it was like an elixir for animals. They looked beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. She says, I'm not drinking anything yet. Well, when you are, let us know, or let us know what you plan to have this morning. Good morning, Terrell. Terrell says, good morning, Malia, Odessa, and everyone. I have my morning ginger and turmeric tea and lemon water. Gorgeous, Terrell. I don't think the day can start better, in my opinion. Ginger, turmeric, and lemon water is fantastic. Good morning, Indigo. How are you doing today? What's going on, Indigo? Did you sleep good? Sarah Marie says, drinking my lemon water and making breakfast. Yes, relatives. Everyone has such a beautiful start to their day. Odessa says, I'm drinking some coffee and also having a cup of hot ginger water. Nice, Odessa. Get it? Terrell says, feeling sad and hopeful this morning. My dad passed on early last year. He lived with us, so lots of changes. My cousin sent us a link to an interview that elders did with him. It was great to hear his voice, his laugh, and see his face again. So glad to have this interview, continuing to move through the grieving process. Thanks for sharing, Terrell. Aw, I'm so glad that you were able to have that footage. That must be so special. Thank you for sharing. Maria Michelle says, I carry my grounding rock everywhere I go. Yes, yes, that's right, Marie. That is awesome. Odessa says, thank you for your share, Terrell. Healing is a process. It sounds like you are doing that. Thank you for being in the space and being part of our healing process. Indigo says, best grounding for me is to be near a tree, especially if I can actually sit on its roots and lean against its trunk. If indoors, then petting my dog. Meditation can sometimes be grounding, but not as much as physical things for me. Indigo, I love that. Thank you for even letting us know that, outside and inside, you have different things that you do. I wish my kitten, I don't know where my kitten is. She's probably causing trouble somewhere. But when I'm feeling really down, I do pet her. It's a win-win for us both. Thank you so much, Indigo. And relatives, you might notice you do, for those of us who maybe struggle with meditation, I know that there's that Buddhist saying, if you don't want to meditate, you should meditate longer or something like that. I'm totally misquoting, but basically, the emphasis of everyone should meditate. I don't disagree with that. However, some of us are not in the space to be meditating. Some of us, we might be activated. It might be too difficult for us to do given the circumstances we're in and the moments that we're having. And so I appreciate that you're saying this, Indigo, that, sometimes the grounding techniques can be easier than going through meditation. So that's why the laying tobacco, the smudging, holding a grounding tool, all of these things. Um, in my abalone shell, this isn't a cultural thing to do. This is just what I do. In my abalone shell, I tend to have different stones and rocks that I find grounding so that whenever I need them, here's a kukui nut. Whenever I need them, I know right where they are. And I feel that this is for me, this is where I like them to be. I love this kukui nut. This is another way. This is a seed, right? Or a nut from Hawaii. And so it doesn't have to be anything in particular. My son used to carry marbles for grounding. And another thing he would carry too is he had this tiny little guy, like a little plastic guy, and he carried him around everywhere. And he was so tiny, but he needed that little guy all the time. And I realized that was his grounding tool. So whatever it is, kids sometimes they'll pick interesting things for their grounding. Marie Michelle says, I went back into isolation. No more walking for me due to the hate and discrimination that I feel simply by going to the grocery store or walking around my block. Marie Michelle, if you want to talk about that, we'll hold space for you. Do feel free to call the Cares Warm line. Um, Nobody should have to experience that. Of course, I know you know this. And if you need to process it, do call the Cares Warm line and we'll talk through. You can just let it all out. You didn't deserve that. Sandra K says, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Sandra K. Okay, so Odessa says, sending love to you, Marie. Sorry to hear of the negativity and hate that you are experiencing. We are here to support you. If you need extra support, please feel free to contact our CARES line. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. The CARES line is listed here. So relatives, for those of you out there who are not doing okay, I will consistently remind us that it is okay not to be okay. We don't want to stay there. We don't want that to be always and ongoing. However, we do have days where we are not okay. That is the human condition. That is part of the natural cycle. I always compare it to the moon. We have light phases and we have dark phases. Side note, we are in those light phases right now, and I'll talk about that later. But we also have our peaks and our valleys. We have high tide and low tide. We have day and we have night. When you are not okay, it is okay not to be okay. But do access your medicine kit. Think about what it is that you need at this moment to be okay. Or maybe not even be okay. If you're not okay, maybe you want to deep breathe. Maybe you want to go for a walk. Maybe you want to talk to someone that you trust. But maybe you just need to take a moment to just be still and sit with yourself. and ask yourself, how am I feeling? What do I need? Why might I be feeling this way? And you can also reach out to our Cares Warm line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can call or text the Cares Warm line. And although it's not a crisis line, within 24 hours, you'll be connected to one of our Cares Warm counselors. We'll hold space for you. We'll listen to you, stigma-free and judgment-free. You can talk about what's on your mind. Not only can we provide you with that emotional support, but we can also provide you with resources that may be helpful to you. Resources in advocacy, or safety planning, or seeking shelter, and the list goes on. You're not alone, relatives. That's why we're here. We are here for you. Come as you are. Tracy, good morning. Tracy says good morning to everyone. Claudia says, sending you a hug, Terrell. I so understand the changes and grieving as our parents journey beyond. What a wonderful resource to have. Odessa's asking how you're doing, Tracy. She's happy you're here with us. Marie Michelle says, I changed my Facebook name to my first name, Marie, because I had to block some gang stalkers yesterday. I'm going to be changing it again and probably my picture to just keep them off my Facebook so they can't recognize my Facebook profile or name or anything. Marie Michelle, give us a call, seriously, if you need to talk. Give us a call on the Cares Warm line. Patricia, how you doing, it's Pat? Patricia says, my calm is watched by the sunrise. Beautiful. Thank you, Patricia. Claudia says, Marie, so glad you are here with us. Tracy says, I'm in a really good space this morning and thank you for asking. Yes, Tracy. Yes, I'm happy to hear that. Relatives, we're always hoping the best for you. I hope you have a day full of joy. But if you're not, that's okay. We're here for you either way. We'll celebrate or we'll support. Odessa says, love to hear you're feeling good this morning, Tracy. Marie says, when I got my daughter out of foster care, she gave me a buckeye and she told me, Mommy, that's for good luck. And I've got that too in my medicine bag. I've carried it in since she gave it to me when she was only 4.5 years old. I love that story, Michelle. Love it. Terrell says, my grounding item is a ring from my aunt. I didn't realize it until I didn't wear it one day. Felt off most of the day. Aw, Terrell, beautiful. Marie says, I love this group and all of you. Love right back at you, all of you relatives. If you're here simply for love, you're in the right place. Like, you don't, that I think is the biggest thing that we can do to heal each other is just to remember, like, hey, you need some love? You got it. You are enough. You don't need to prove anything. There's nothing to prove here. There's no way you have to be here. There's nothing that you have to do to be enough here. We come as enough. The only thing that we need to do to be here is we literally can just listen in, but relatives, you can be part of this as active as you want. If you want to talk on the comment section, you always can. You always can. And if you don't want to talk on the comment section, that's fine too. Your healing and your wellness and your journey is your journey. You choose how you want to walk, or crawl, or swim, or run, or fly, or dance. You choose how you're going to travel that path. Claudia says, our hearts tell us what we need. I've learned the should of others is their joint insecurity and judgment. It's what works for them, but maybe not for me. Should. That can be a really powerful word. I don't know how I feel about shoulds. We all know what we should do, but do others know what we should do? Just because we should doesn't mean that we're able. I love that. I've learned the should of other is their joint insecurity and judgment. Thank you, Claudia. Love your insight. Odessa says, we love you too, Marie, and so happy you are with us in this space. Tracy says, my prayers first. Meditation music in the morning is a must. Beautiful, Tracy. Love it. Love it. I just read an article that and it was a peer-reviewed article. It wasn't just like, a blog or something, that there is research that meditation actually grows parts of your brain. It's like a muscle. They will actually grow and expand. Marie says, thank you all. Odessa says, we are here for you. Come as you are. For real, relatives. For real, for real. Makane says, going to catch you on replay. All right. Busy at work. Okay. Catching what I can in between. Got my tea. That's awesome, Makane. Tracy says, my grounding also includes my rock collection and sitting in the middle of a creek hunting them. Tracy, that sounds awesome. I can't wait for it to be 80 degrees so I can sit at a creek and do exactly what you're talking about. Beautiful. That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing your grounding, Tracy. Um, Odessa says, I do not find shoulds helpful. I feel like they can create a lot of negative thoughts of ourselves, which can be quite hurtful. Sarah Marie says, what grounds means is the necklace I wear. The necklace was part of my grandmother that had passed away. She has the other half with her in her casket. I wear my necklace every day. I rarely take it off. My grandmother was my world and best friend. Love it, Sarah Marie. Odessa says, thank you for your beautiful share. That is amazing. Love this. One of my grounding pieces that I wear all the time. So this is actually a cultural piece too. In Hawaii, we one of the traditions that we have when we're like growing up or when we're turning into like a woman or we have different like important phases in our lives, we will be gifted what's called heirloom jewelry, which is passed down from one generation to the next, or someone might purchase it for us and give it to us. We call this Hawaiian heirloom. And when my twin sister passed in 2004, she was a MMIW. She was a murdered and missing Indigenous woman. My mom had this made for me because my twin sister's name was Maile Lehua, and this is the Lehua fern here. This is the Maile Lehua. So, and then on the inside, it has her name and her birth and her death date. So this is one of my grounding tools. I will never take this off. Like it will come off when I cross over onto the other side. And I don't know, it'll probably have to be cut off. But yeah, I will have this always and forever. Sandra K says, my grounding is my medicine bag. I carry in my left pocket. A tradition of my grandmother's. When I forget to put it in my pocket, I feel like something is lost or missing in my day. Stay safe, everyone. Love it, Sandra K. Thank you for sharing. Relatives culture is medicine, right there. Marie Michelle says, I also wear a necklace that I inherited from my mother that's been passed down through my family for centuries. I never take it off. Wow. So this is amazing because we can see that all of our relatives, we have these items that we keep to ground us. And a lot of them are connected to stories and ancestry. In Hawaii, we believe that these items that you carry, that you hold, that have your energy of your family on them, we believe that they have mana. And mana is that like spiritual force, that strength, that power, that energy that flows through everything, all things and all of life. So those items to me have mana. Barbara, how you doing, Barbara? Good morning. Barbara is one of our community healers and also our advocacy director. Barbara says, I had a mentor that talked about shoulds. After saying something similar to what Claudia said, he said, you might want to learn to quit shoulding on yourselves and others. Quit shoulding on yourselves. I love that. Yes, Barbara, love it. Tracy says, what a beautiful story, and thank you for sharing. Absolutely love the relative shares. Odessa says, Barbara, good morning. Good to see you, and thank you for your share and insight. Quit shitting on yourselves and others. That's funny. All right, relatives, let's do some deep breathing because that can be grounding for us. If you choose to breathe along from us, we'll keep it simple today. And then I'll talk about the flower moon. It's a flower moon today. So you can sit, lay, or recline however you like. You're going to breathe in through the nose for 4. We're going to exhale through the mouth for 8. I'm putting my hands gently in my lap. You can close your eyes if you want to. We're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. We're grounding here and exhale and release through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. Just going to roll the shoulders as we continue to breathe. Excuse me, relatives. We're going to go ahead and extend the arms out. Oh, that feels good this morning. I feel stiff. I'm going to bring that arm across, rolling the wrist, shoulder and upper back. Deep inhale. And exhale. Oh, that feels good. We're going to take a deep inhale. And exhale as we extend the fingers out in front of us, stretching the wrist and forearms. Deep inhale. And exhale. We're going to go ahead, clasp the fingers, palms out and up towards the ceiling. And we're going to gently bend from side to center. Oh, that feels good. And we're going to go ahead and push down on the opposite elbow with the hand, stretching the triceps. Deep inhale. All right, let's go ahead and stretch the neck from side to center. Remember, relatives, these are just guidelines. Stretch how you need, stretch what you need. And we're going to go ahead and tap the ear towards the shoulder. Tap the ear towards the shoulder. Inhale and exhale as we roll the chin from shoulder to shoulder. Rolling the chin from shoulder to shoulder. Inhale. Looking down towards our lap. And up towards the ceiling, stretching the neck. Deep inhale. And exhale. How'd that feel, relatives? Tracy says, just received the ashes of my first love and lifetime friend. Grounds me too. We came full circle. Thanks for sharing, Tracy. It's beautiful. Marie Michelle says, yeah, it's an antique Spanish silver rose link chain with quartz crystal in each rose. It came on the ship with the Sotelo family during the colonization. Unfortunately, that it's been passed down through my family forever, and it will be passed down to my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Love it. Thank you for sharing, Marie. Tracy said that felt great. I'm so glad to hear, Tracy. Before we go, relatives, I do want to share some culture as medicine. For many of us, our culture is our way of connecting to spirit, connecting to our ancestors, to ground ourselves, to find peace. I often say that there's been times in my life where I didn't know how I was going to get through suffering and loss. And the way that I did it was through dance, through my cultural dances, through my ancestral dances. Culture as medicine can be a very, very powerful tool in your medicine kit. And I share this because today we're in a different lunar phase. In my ancestral beliefs, the native Hawaiian lunar calendar, there's a different moon for every day of the month. And we're in the growing moon phase. We're in the full moon phase. In fact, over this weekend, we're getting into the fullest moon. So as we approach towards Monday, that's like when the full moon will peak. But this 10-day period of the full moon phase, we call this the poi poi, the round moon phase. Today's moon is named Mohalu. Mohalu means like the flowers, blooming things, blossoms. And I wanted to show you, I know I've showed my green onions before. I go to the grocery store, I buy green onions, and then I keep the butts or the ends of the onions, I just stick them in water on a windowsill and they grow back. So for $1, I might get a bunch of onions, but then I get them like 4 times. So it's like 25 cents for onions. It's a good money saver, but also it really does help us connect to our food and that growing process. And would you know, on the Mohalu moon, we actually have little onion buds, so they're flowering. That's cool. I love that. Oops. So, and I also wanted to celebrate the flowering moon by showing you some of our natural medicines. Oh, but first, look who came for some love. My kitten Purdy. Hi, Purdy. Hi, Purdy. She used to be so tiny she fit in my palm about 3 months ago, and now she's just... Animals is medicine. Look, she came to snuggle too. Hi, Purdy. Say hello to your relatives. She totally wants to snuggle. Okay, so at least for a minute, we'll see how long she'll handle. Mohalu moon, we're in the flowering moon. I wanted to share with you some of the teas. Last week we did a raspberry rose tea, rose petals and raspberries. You can just see how gorgeous this is. There's citrus pieces in here as well. There's even raspberry leaves. And then another one of the teas I wanted to share. What do you think, Purdy? Let's let Purdy smell our siesta blossom. So if you're needing a day of relaxation, always the chamomile tea. Here, I'll let you smell it. Purdy, what do you think? Does that smell good? Does that smell yummy? So, just in honor of the flower moon today, I wanted to show you fava tea has one called Siesta Blossom. It has chamomile in it, but it also has a bunch of other stuff. So I just want to show you how beautiful. Look at our medicines. The creator gave us such beautiful things. Look at these little like violet flowers and pieces of apple, and there's chamomile leaves and rose petals. It smells better than Starburst. It smells amazing. But in honor of the flower moon, I just wanted to show you relatives. Like, we're just so surrounded with beauty and so surrounded with things that, you know, that are with us and access all times when we need to feel peace. Our animals are here with us. We're here for you. We're here in community activated medicine. We have our plant relatives who are here to nurture us and to feed us and to nourish us. Everyone's saying hi to Purdy. Purdy says meow meow to all of her relatives. Odessa says animals as medicine. Absolutely. Indigo says she's beautiful. Animals are definitely medicine. She is beautiful. Barbara actually named her Perdita. Perdita Cranberry Chow. Cranberry was her adopted name. So Perdita, I call her Purdy, or Gremlin, or Gremels, or Girlins, or Devil Baby, or I call her all sorts of stuff. Girlins is what I mostly call her. Makanit says, I have a bird and 2 dogs. Yes, the animals, they love us so much. They love us. They will always love us. Marie says, and then another one, she's got a mustache like my Felix Marie. She looks like my Felix Marie. Relatives, you are not alone. I know sometimes it can feel that way. And if you need extra support, call us. We're here for you. I'm just sending you so much love. I want to say, mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for bringing your spirit and your heart to this space. Thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable so that in community activated medicine, we can inspire others that when we come as we are, when we are authentically and truly who we are and allow ourselves to feel what we feel, that can be a powerful, powerful way to heal and to release. Malamapono ikokino. Take good, righteous care of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Aloha nui. Huge love to you all out there, relatives. You deserve love. You are enough. Perfection is impossible, and it's boring. So just know you are enough. You are beautiful. You are loved. And if you need love, you come here and come on and get it. Before we go, there is a community survey linked to this video. It is completely anonymous. Relatives, please take it. Indigo, I know you've always been taking it for us. We appreciate you. The thing about this community survey is it does two really important things. Number one, it helps us keep all of our services at the HIR Wellness Institute completely free. Our founder, Leah, knew that she would never charge a penny for our relatives to walk their healing path. Number two, not only does it keep our services free, but for number two, it also helps us understand how best to serve you relatives. Because when we understand what you walk with and what you carry with you, then we can help to understand how best to support you in that way. So please, relatives, do take the survey. That's my ask. Dwight says, thank you. Sarah Marie says, your kitty looks like my daughter's kitten, Akira. Aw, Akira, that means autumn in Japanese. Odessa says, thank you everyone for joining us this morning. We hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Sandra K says, thank you for my 7 dogs and 4 cats and me. I love it, Sandra. And Marie Michelle is sending lots of love. To all of you out there, relatives, remember who you are. Remember you're beautiful. Remember you're unique. Remember you're loved. You deserve love. You are enough. Enjoy. Cheers, everyone. Aloha.